So hey everybody, it is Erin again, and I am going to play with some Rinea foil. So this is a foil that's made in Germany and manufactured in Germany, and it is distributed by Global Crafting, which is also known, and this is the Rinea foil. So inside here, this is the largest flat sheet that you are going to get. These are the plain foils, and in this set right here, this is a set that has 30 different papers. You get a whole variety of colors. There's a ton of colors. There's reds, there's blues, there's greens, and they're all super shiny. And what we are going to do, and there's more colors in here too, there's coppers, and they're two-sided. What we have here, and this is the largest one, and just to give you a size reference here, the true measurements are 30 centimeters by 50 centimeters. So it's almost a 12 by 20, but not quite. It's a little bit off. So what we are going to do today is we are going to do the giant rosettes. So this is what this looks like. So far on this batch, this has taken 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this is 4. This would make 5. And this is going to finish out our rosette. We're just a little bit shy of making a full-size rosette shape. See, we're just a tiny bit smidgen short. Look how pretty that is. Now here's the neat thing about this paper. You fold it and it keeps its shape. But notice if you straighten it back out again, if you didn't fully crease it, it doesn't leave these big nice warps and indentions. If you did draw a line on it though, it would stay a line. If we folded it and creased it, it stays. And it will keep its crease as well. So we're kind of using this to our advantage right now by scoring this. So I'm going to turn my paper this way, and this is what I did with all the other ones. I scored them at 1-inch intervals. So I'm just going to take my score pal. The Martha Stewart one works. Really, any of these work. And I'm sorry if it's kind of getting this funny glare and looking really dark. Here, I took my light off. It's different from how I see it versus how you see it, and I'm sorry it got really dark there for a second. Because it's the shininess of the paper, the camera doesn't really quite know what to do. So I'm going to score this at every inch marking, and be careful not to push too hard. You're just wanting to make an indentation where you're actually going to be cutting. So just draw your line. That might be a little off. At each inch marking, going all the way down the length of the paper. So if you do notice, it doesn't come out to be a full measurement because I did do straight inches all the way across, and it's not a full set of 20. At this point, you're kind of done with your scorer. And all you need to do now is fold. You're going to fold going one way first, then you flip your paper over, and you fold back on itself. You're doing the accordion fold, or a fan fold, or however you want to call it. You keep flipping, and every time you fold away from you. Oops. Flip, fold away from you. Flip, fold away from you. It's as simple as that. Push it down and it stays. This is not going to crumple back up on itself. That's the beauty of this paper. It's very brilliant colored. It has lots of amazing qualities to it. And this is just one of many, many things you can do with it. Alright, so now you have this little accordion, and it's not very big, I will tell you that. It seems like it should be a whole lot bigger than it is, but it's really not in terms of fan, and it holds its place, so you can easily fold it back up, but the fan is not super wide, so that's why you need 6 of the sheets. Inside the big pack I just showed you, there's only 3 of this particular color, but on the back side of every color is the shiny gold. So for instance, here's the red paper. Same size we just worked with, but on the back side is shiny gold. There is a definite difference. It may not be easy to pick up, but this is the matte gold. This is the shiny. And from the camera, you probably can't tell very easily how they're a little different, but this is shinier, and this is definitely has more of a matte quality. Still shiny, just not as shiny. So if you wanted to do this project, you would need to get 2 of these packs to have 6 full sheets of the matte gold. You really only need 5, or you could do a mixture. You don't have to do all matte gold. You could do some matte gold and you could do some other colors. So it's up to you, or you could do the shiny gold. Your call. So what you're going to do at this stage is you're going to take one end, this end right here, and for all of these other ones that I've held together and it's been holding just fine, I've used my Beacon Mixed Media glue. And all you're going to do is you're going to run a bead of glue. This thing is almost empty, so just bear with me. Run a bead of glue just like this, going all the way down. And then you're going to connect this to one of your other sheets. Now this happens to be matte gold on matte gold, so it does not matter how I connect it. It doesn't make a difference whatsoever, because one side's going to be the same. And I'm just going to basically lay these together and squish it down to make it all nice. So this is now turning into one giant accordion. I need my glue here in a minute. It takes just a quick second for that glue to set in. And then just double check to make sure that when you did that, you didn't end up sticking, see here it is, just make sure you didn't stick some other page sections together that didn't need to be stuck. Get rid of some of your little copy webs. Flip it over, check the same thing again. See, here's one that got kind of, there it is, see. Because we used a short end and that's fine. And if this bothers you, just fold it over. It'll stay, it's not gonna come undone. And then you have kind of a nice clean line. It's because we had a short end and we glued it to a longer end, and that's perfectly okay. And there it is. So now what you're going to do, and let me make sure I have enough space on my desk, is you are going to fan this guy out. And look, whoops, look how pretty this is. And I even have some extra pieces in here because I'm grabbing multiple sections, but look how gorgeous that is. Beautiful. And this is big. When this is all done, keep in mind, because we did the length of this way and this is about 12, this is about 24 inches in diameter going all the way across. So the radius is 12 and the diameter is 24, which makes for a super beautiful, large decorative piece. Just going in now and making sure that none of my other, like these guys are stuck right now. So I'm going to flip this guy over. And just make sure that none of my little accordion pieces are stuck together where they shouldn't be. Kind of fix any little wonky spots. Now, if you were going to go set up a party, yeah, it's just got a little stuck here. There it goes. Let's say you were going to go set up a party and stuff. There's 2 ways you can do this. One, you make all of your big pom-pom, you make all your big rosettes, and you assemble them and take them, and you just have a nice big tray to put them all on, because this is probably the biggest you would ever make with this size sheet of paper. I'm going to show you how to do a smaller one here in a minute. Did not drop it on the floor. Really, I didn't. So this is the largest based on the paper size that we offer, is this size rosette. This is 24 inches across, and this is giant. You can make them much smaller. This is a smaller version. And this is taking this one paper and slicing it in half. So look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? And I know it's not showing up true to color, but this is actually purple. You just really can't see it. This is like a really royal purple, but it's showing up on blue in my camera, and I don't know how to fix that. Something about the color distortion. So if you wanted to, you could transport it just like this. Put a rubber band on here, take this with you, and then when you get there, glue it. The glue takes no time at all to set, and then you're good to go. Or you can take it assembled. What I would suggest, though, and we're going to do this because we're going to finish this here on camera, is if you assemble this on site, when you pick it up, look what happens. See how it kind of warps? You need something to give yourself some backing. And you know what the cheapest backing there is out there? Cardboard. Let's get some cardboard. So I am just literally tearing a sheet off of the side of, I'm going to use this whole thing, off the side of a box. This is a giant box that I have, and I've been kind of holding on to it. We all get boxes, and instead of throwing it in the landfill, use it to your advantage. You know, keep your cardboard boxes, you know, or sections of your boxes for this purpose. Pizza boxes would work great too if you have pizza boxes. Just make sure they're nice and clean so they don't smell. So you might want to clean them off a tiny bit. Or maybe the top didn't get dirty. Who knows? So bottom line, you're going to use this as your backing. You're going to need to decide at this point. So we're going to go ahead and glue this. And then we're going to decide which side looks better. So apply a little bit of glue. All right, so again, at this point, you need to decide which side you want to have your front and your back. This is now set and glued. So just very carefully flip it over and decide, okay, what do I want my front and what do I want my back? And I think I'm liking this side. The only reason why I say that is because I've got a little marking. Let's see if I can find it. There's just a couple of little spots that I saw on the other side. Maybe it's here. Yeah, it got a little torn right here. You got to be careful not to use your fingernails on the paper because this is a foil on top of regular paper. So if you get rid of the foil, if you actually scratch it, the foil will come off, and I don't want that. And this is what happened right there. So we're going to call this the front, which means I need to flip it back over to have the back. So this is our back side. I don't care what this looks like. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to this side. So I'm going to take a ton of glue, and it doesn't matter which side of the box you use, and add a ton of glue to this paper because it's what's basically holding your rosette together. I'm just coating it all over. Now, here's the other fun thing you can do. Let's say your rosette's starting to pull apart like this. At this stage, because the glue is still wet, you can kind of come in, and you're going to lay your glue side down, and now is when you can kind of play with your placement of all of your little accordion folds. So if you want a little further apart, a little closer together, if it's pulling out, you can kind of squeeze it back in. This one's actually doing a pretty good job. This does not take very long to set. This should go pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and just make sure it's on there. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, and it's already staying. I know you can't see this, but it's already staying in its space. Now, get in here, make sure all of these are pulled in tight. And there's the beginning of our rosette, which is pretty much taking up my entire space here on my desk, which is cool. But what you're probably noticing is that the center may not look so pretty. You could definitely leave this as is. This looks fine. You could put a little something in the middle here, but we're going to layer our rosette. So here's one that I've done in purple, and I know it looks blue. I'm sorry. And I've already done this. And what I have done is I've taken 2 sheets of the large foil sheets that we just saw, the 12, I'm going to call it 12 by 20 because it's much easier, the 12 by 20 sheets, and I've cut them down in half. So it is now 6 by 20 instead of 12 by 20. Where is my cutoff point? See, I glued it so well. There it is. You can see it right here. So here is the half sheet right here. So this is 6 by 20. So there is 1 sheet. Here is 2. And here's 3. So it really only truly takes 2 sheets, but there's still a half sheet left, and there is plenty of room. Here's the other one. I already cut it down and I already accordioned it. So here it is right here. Super simple. And if you notice, one side is gold, and this is a shiny gold, and one side is purple. Again, it doesn't look purple on your side, but it really is. I promise. And you do need to be careful because I did kind of make a mistake. I did kind of tear a little bit, so it's really more obvious on the darker colors. But you could go in with a little Sharpie or something and kind of clean that up. Or just be a little more careful than I was, because I was banging this thing around pretty good. Or if you don't care, you don't care. Now, this one, it does matter where you're putting your folds. Could you make a full rosette with just the 3? Yes. But with rosettes, if you try and force it, you're going to get much bigger pleats, which is absolutely fine. But if you put in another one in between, I'm trying to show you here without gluing it. So here I'm adding another one. It just makes your pleats much tighter. So see how it's just you're changing the spacing between each of your folds. It's purely a personal preference. It is up to you. We could have added another one into this. Instead of doing 5 sheets, we could have done 6. If we did 4, it would still work. It would just be pulled that much more, and you wouldn't get the folds that you're looking for. So we're going to move this guy, and actually we're going to leave it. It's not hurting us in any way, shape, or form, because we're going to glue this right on top anyway. we're going to make this a layered rosette. So we are going to glue this to here. And you do want to be careful with these ones that you don't just glue whatever to whatever. You want to make sure you're gluing the color the right side up. It would also look really cool if you did your rosettes this way. So then you would end up having a two-toned rosette, which is pretty cool. So you'd have it part purple, part gold, you know, you'd have different sections. But we're just gonna do one solid color. All right, now I will say this one I don't have an option of deciding which side looks better because there's only one side that has purple. With the gold I had that luxury, but I don't here. Same thing, I'm gonna flip this guy over. Here we go. And we are gonna apply our, now this is what I was talking about, how you can center it in and kind of squish it in. We're gonna put our cardboard on the back, and once I get the cardboard on, I'm gonna make sure I kind of center this up and make it look nice and firm, and it's all the way pointy in the center here. All right, so here it is. See how it is already holding firm? This glue does not take long, and the papers are really light, so it does not take a whole lot to glue this on. And this glue is pretty strong. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue this to this and make it a three-dimensional rosette. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply glue to the cardboard. This is why we are applying cardboard on every stage, not only to hold our rosette firm, but also so it gives something for each layer to glue to each other. All right, again, you could leave your rosette looking just like this, but I love the idea of layering these. And we are truly going to use these in our booths for Rinea. We're going to set these up on our booths as kind of our backdrop. And I'm going to have a picture here at the end, and also you probably saw at the beginning, of what all these rosettes look like. This is the largest one, but we have some where this size. So because we cut it in half, this is only 6, the full diameter is 12. So this is about 12. But we also made some that were 20 inches long. We made some that were 18, some that were 15. So these are all various sizes, all working from the original size of that 12 by 20 sheet of foil paper. So they come in a wide just by cutting them in half or cutting sections down. The other thing that we sell, and either you can make these yourself or you can buy them pre-made, are these stars. Now I did not glue this one together. And there is a tutorial on how to make these fun little stars. This was the inspiration for the foil. This is what brought the foil here to the United States, was the idea of making these really pretty little stars. But you can do so much with the foil, so why not? So you are going to create, and this is using the exact same foil. This is the matte. I think this one's actually the shiny, but it doesn't matter. This is part of the embossed one. This one's actually got some little embossing. So there's all kinds of pretty golds that you can get. There's embossed, there's plain, there's matte. Beautiful. And we're going to put this as our centerpiece here. And again, on the site, you can buy these both pre-made, or you can buy the templates to make these stars, or you can buy the paper. There's lots of varieties here. And all we're going to do is we're going to nest these into each other. The first one we're going to do is we're going to glue this guy onto here, and then we're going to nest the smaller stars into each other. It's a really pretty way of doing a rosette, adding layers just like you would do a flower, except we've gone from giant to small to tiny, and just adding more and more layers all the way down to filling it in with our fun little stars. If you want the tutorial to how to make the stars, I will put a link up in the corner and you can see how to create these guys. They're pretty fun. Now, what can you do with these giant rosettes? We're using them in our booths, but what can you guys personally use them for? This can be party decor. I think on a grand scale, if you made 5 or 6 of these, keep in mind odd numbers works better, so probably 5 or 7, and hung them around your house for a birthday party. You can do them in the soft pinks. There's a variety of colors. Check out the site, and they're both in the plain and also in the embossed. So there's different kinds of foils that you can get. Hang them up for party decor. You can hang these outside. They will withstand some outside weather. So you can hang these on your fence. It'd be beautiful fence decorations for an outside party, for graduation, for Christmas, for all kinds of things. There's lots of things you can use these giant rosettes. You can do a smaller version. So here's a picture of a small one. I didn't make that one. That was actually made by a different designer, but it's using the same principle and the same foils. And in any, you can punch a hole going through here and making a pretty design. Really, the possibilities are endless. And the small ones could be as small as this little star, which could mean it could go on a scrapbook, it could be an ornament, it could be on a card, it can go for a ton of different things. On the topper of a jar, lots and lots of options for these things. This is just one giant way of using the foils as decorative. So thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe. See you again soon. Bye-bye.